Premier League football is back on Saturday and so are Manchester United. The early kickoff against Southampton. Let's be honest. We should be completely confident of 3 points here. Southampton bottom of the table. Only scored 1 goal in 3 games. But we're not. And I think that's kind of indicative of the fact that we've had a slow start to the season. That's me being polite. I'm going to run through the team news, run through conversations about the starting 11, my prediction. You can get yours in the comments, as you always do. But let's get into it. All right. As I said, Southampton right now are sitting there pretty at the bottom of the table. Only Everton have had a worse start to the season than Southampton. All right. They're there 3 games in, 1 goal scored. Lost 1-0 on the first day of the season to Southampton. Lost 1-0 on the second game to Nottingham Forest at home. They lost at home to Forest. Jeez. I don't get 3 points here. Jeez. Anyway, last game, they lost 3-1 to Brentford. And we can take a look at the team that they played there. Did they play in a 3-5-2? I don't really know. Russell Martin last year in the Championship was known for quite, the same way when Burnley came up, when they got 100 points. It's got a dominant system. Brereton, I think he's a new signing. There's no one in that team that United should be looking at and worrying about. There's in no way, shape. And this is a game where United are going to go in as massive favourites. And we should be favourites. But we've struggled with that. Well, we struggled with Liverpool. United shouldn't be struggling against Southampton. But we're going to, probably. Indicative of where we are. Anyway, this was the team that we played against Liverpool. And truth be told, I'm not expecting there to be too much change. But we'll speak about Ugarte. We'll speak about a few other players, all right? Now, Ligt may well have had a tricky international break with the Netherlands. Had a mistake. Wasn't the only reason that led to a goal from Germany, but got hooked at half-time by Koeman. All right? Don't think Koeman particularly likes him. I don't really care about what he does for Holland. I care what he does in the United shirt. And I think against Liverpool, I actually think he played pretty well in that first half. Of course, second half, the whole team collapsed. But De Ligt will keep his spot there at right centre-back. And Martinez will too. Now, with Martinez, I just want to say something quickly here. One of the best parts of Martinez's game is his aggression. But the reason it's so good is because he blends aggression with decision-making and timing. When to be aggressive, when to hold back. And I think against Liverpool and a couple of times in other games as well, I think he's been aggressive at the wrong times, which he hasn't and he didn't typically do before. Now, I'm not saying that Martinez is falling off, but I want him to use that aggression properly and correctly. Sometimes it's good to lunge in, but sometimes it's good to hold back. I just think against Liverpool, he was a little bit overzealous. Maybe got caught up in the occasion. But I'd rather see him, time it better. I actually think that back 5 is going to stay the exact same. Delo on the left-hand side, Mazraoui on the right-hand side, who played, I think, the majority of the first game for Morocco, but was rested in the second game. So Mazraoui, fingers crossed, will be fit and ready. And I actually think he's probably been our most impressive player so far this season, which isn't really saying much, I know. But given the expectations coming in, I think Mazraoui is done well. However, this is the question. This is the big conversation going into this game. Will Manuel Ugarte be fit to start this game, or will Casemiro start this game? Now, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Because I think going into it, right, it depends. I don't think Ugarte is going to get 90 minutes in this game. No way. Even if he starts, I don't think he'll get 90 minutes. So it depends whether you feel that United will benefit more from Ugarte starting the game, and maybe we get a foothold in than Casemiro coming on for the last half an hour or so, or the other way around. My honest personal opinion is I think I'd rather see Ugarte coming on for the last 30 minutes or so, when ideally United have got a lead to hold on to. So I think in that environment, I would want to see Ugarte playing the last 30 than Casemiro playing the last 30. Just a personal opinion. That you could say that, well, Sam, if you start Ugarte from the start, he'll be more up to speed with, a full strength and fully fit Southampton team rather than Casemiro. And Casemiro might benefit from coming off the bench into a team which has already played 60 minutes. I think there's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. All right. Kobbie Mainoo, I think, will start because he was rested in the second game by Zirkzee. Big up Zirkzee for actually resting Mainoo. He definitely looked like he needed it. But it'll be Kobbie starting, and I actually think Casemiro will keep his spot. And I think I would personally rather see Ugarte come and help United see out the last half an hour of the game, which is when we struggled so much, rather than Casemiro. Personal opinion. But I don't think it's long before we see Ugarte starting games. In fact, I'll probably go as far as to say that he'll start, as long as he's fit, every game past Southampton in the Premier League. So Crystal Palace next weekend, I think you'll see Ugarte make his first start. I think he'll make his debut, but I think Casemiro will start. Now, let's move up front. And there's questions to be asked about A, do you stick with the 4-2-4, or do you switch it, drop Bruno, for example, let's go over here, drop Bruno into the more traditional number 10 role, have Zirkzee play more as an out-and-out number 9, and have Rashford and Garnacho, or whoever the two wingers are, playing in that shape, and United switch into more of a traditional 4-3-3 rather than the 4-2-4, which we've been using so far. I don't know what he'll do, if I'm being honest. But speaking about Marcus Rashford, right? Obviously, the videos went around of him training, getting fit, during just extra gym work during the international break, and people labelled it as PR. Marcus, there is nothing that you can do that will change the perception of yourself with a lot of United fans, apart from banging in goals. I'd love to see Rashford. Manchester United this season, we are going to have a better season if we can get Rashford firing again. United will be a better team. So I hope he scores. I actually would start him in this game. You can see down there on the left-hand, bottom left, these are all the players who are out with injuries. Still got Shaw, Malacia, Yoro, Højlund, Mount, and Lindelof. Yeah, it's a decent injury list. I would definitely play Rashford on the left-hand side. Will he play the full 90? I don't know. Depends how he plays. But 1 or 2 goals against Southampton, get your confidence up, because it seems like the only thing that's going to get his confidence up. And it's not even guaranteed that it does, by the way, but it's goals. Now, Zirkzee. People have been slating him for his performance against Liverpool. He definitely looked like he was struggling with the pace of the game. But Zirkzee got his first goal and assist for the Netherlands in the first game, and then Brobby started the second game against Germany. So Zirkzee's had a game and was rested. Should be fully fit. I kind of think maybe I would switch to... We struggle without a presence in the box. I just want United to please, for the love of God, don't do the front press. If we're going to press, I want Manchester United to press in this area here, right? Wait until we're in shape. And if you want to press, press there. Don't be running after the ball up here. Zirkzee trying to chase the ball down. Rashford trying to back it up there. Maybe Bruno going there. And all of a sudden, unless Delot and the fullbacks don't ever really support the press, they kind of never have, then all of a sudden you're going to have an out ball here. Just don't do the front press. It hasn't worked. The reason we looked better against Fulham is because we dropped the front press. A big reason why I think we looked poor against Liverpool is because the front press returned and they play around it simply. I would start Zirkzee there. And it's a question as whether you think Ahmad should be starting or Garnacho. And in this game, I'm going to go for Ahmad on that right-hand side. Someone a little bit more technical. Garnacho coming on and Ugarte coming on the last half an hour. Game-changing subs. Potentially match-winning subs. But that would be my team there. Ahmad coming in for Garnacho. And I think that's the only change from the Liverpool game, which you might say is a bit mad considering how we played. I'm backing United to deliver in this game, which famous last words, all right? Famous last words. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I'm going to go for a goal for Rashford. I don't know who else, but a goal for Rashford. I think he'll score. I think we'll win 3-1. And, well, I'm probably going to get that completely wrong, and it's probably going to be me getting frustrated because United have dropped points away at Southampton. But Southampton are bottom of the league. They've scored 1 goal. Sure. First game away from home against the newly promoted team who are at home. Of course, if we're away from it, you get the point. After the international break, United typically have been slow in these games. We can't afford it. All right. I don't think this is a must-win for Erik ten Hag to save his job, and some people do, but I disagree. But it's a must-win in terms of building genuine momentum. We need some. We don't have any right now. Southampton, build it. Build on that with Barnsley. Then we go into Palace next weekend. But I'm going for a 3-1 win. You can let me know what your prediction is in the comments.